Om Sai Ram. Sri Sai Sacharita, Chapter 26. Stories of Bhakta Pantha, Harishchandra Pitale, and Gopal Ambedkar. Preliminary. All the things that we see in this universe are nothing but a play of the Maya, the creative power of the Lord. These things do not really exist. What really exists is the Absolute. Just as we mistake a rope or a garland for a serpent on account of the darkness, we always see the phenomenon, things, as they outwardly appear and not the neomenon which underlies all the visible things. It is only the Sadguru who opens the eyes of our understanding and enables us to see things in their true light and not as they appear. Let us therefore worship the Sadguru and pray to him to give us the true vision, which is nothing but God vision. Inner worship. Hemant Pant has given us a novel form of worship. Let us, he says, use water in the form of our tears of joy to wash the Sadguru's feet. Let us besmear his body with the sandal paste of pure love. Let us cover his body with the cloth of true faith. Let us offer 8 lotuses in the form of 8 sattvic emotions and fruit in the form of our concentrated mind. Let us apply to his head the bhuka, the black powder, in the form of devotion, and tie the waistband of bhakti and place our head at his feet. After decorating the Sadguru with all the ornamentation this way, let us offer ourselves to him and wave charmer of devotion to ward off heat. After such blissful worship, let us pray thus: turn our mind inward, give us discrimination between the unreal and the real, and non-attachment for all worldly things, and thus enable us to get self-realization. We surrender our self-body and soul, body consciousness and ego to you. Make our eyes yours so that we should never feel pleasure or pain. Control our body and mind as you wish. Let our mind rest in your feet. Now let us turn to the stories of this chapter. Bhakta Pantha. Once it so happened that a devotee by the name Pantha, a disciple of another guru, had the good fortune of visiting Shirdi. He had no mind to go to Shirdi, but a man proposes one way, God disposes the other way. He was travelling in the BB&CI railway train, where he met many friends bound for Shirdi. They all asked him to accompany them and he could not say no. He alighted at Mumbai, while Pant got down at Virar. There he took the permission of his guru for the Shirdi trip and after arranging for the expenses, left with the party for Shirdi. They all reached the place in the morning and went to the masjid at 11 a.m. On seeing the concourse of the devotees assembled for Baba's worship, they were all very pleased. But Pant suddenly got a fit and fell senseless. They were all frightened, still they tried their best to revive him to his senses. With Baba's grace, after sprinkling water over his head, he regained his consciousness and sat upright as if he was just awakened from sleep. The omniscient Baba, knowing that he was a disciple of another guru, assured him and confirmed his faith in his own guru by addressing him as follows: Come what may, leave not, but stick to your own bolster, the support, that is Guru, and ever remain steady with him. Pant at once understood the significance of this remark, and thus he was reminded of his Guru. This kindness of Baba he never forgot in his life. Harishchandra Pitale. There was a gentleman by the name Harishchandra Pitale in Mumbai. He had a son who suffered from epilepsy. He tried many allopathic and Ayurvedic physicians, but there was of no use. There remained only one way of remedy, resorting to the saint. It has been stated in the chapter 15 that Das Ganu, by his inimitable and splendid kirtan, spread the fame of Sai Baba in the Mumbai presidency. Mr. Pitale heard some of these kirtans in 1910 and learned therefrom and from others that Baba, with his mere touch and mere glance, cured many incurable diseases. Then a desire arose in his mind to see Sai Baba. Making all preparations and taking offerings and fruit baskets, Mr. Pitale came to Shirdi with his family, wife and children. He then went to the masjid with them and prostrated before Baba and placed his sick son at Baba's feet. No sooner Baba saw the child than an untoward thing happened. The son immediately revolved his eyes and fell down senseless. His mouth began to throw foam while his whole body began to perspire profusely, and it seemed as if he breathed himself out. Seeing this, the parents became very nervous and upset. The boy used to get such fits very often, but this fit seemed to be persisting very long. Tears began to flow ceaselessly from the mother's eyes, and she began to wail that her condition was like of a person who, being afraid of the robbers, ran into a house which collapsed on him, or like a cow fearing a tiger ran into the hand of a butcher, or like a traveler who, being tormented by the heat of the sun, went to take refuge under the tree which fell upon him, or like a devout person going to worship the temple which collapsed upon him. Then Baba comforted her, saying, "Do not wail like this. Wait a bit. Have patience. Take the boy to your lodgings. He will come to his senses within half an hour." They did as directed, as Baba said, and Baba's words came true. As soon as he was taken to the Vada, the boy recovered, and all the Pitale family and others were very happy, and all their doubts disappeared. Then Mr. Pitale went with his wife to see Baba and prostrated himself before him very humbly and respectfully, and sat shampooing his legs and mentally thanking Baba for the kind help. Baba then smilingly said, "Have not all your thoughts and doubts and apprehensions calmed down now? Hari will protect him, who has faith and patience." Mr. Pitale was a rich and well-to-do gentleman. He distributed sweetmeats on a large scale and offered Baba excellent fruits and pan, betel leaves. Mrs. Pitale was a very pious lady, simple and loving, faithful. She used to sit near the post, gazing at Baba with tears of joy flowing down her eyes. Seeing her amicable and loving nature, Baba was much pleased with her. Like gods, saints are always dependent on their devotees, who surrender and worship them with their heart and soul. After passing some happy days in Baba's company, the Pitale family came to the masjid to take Baba's leave to depart. Baba gave them Modi and blessing and called Mr. Pitale close by and said to him, "Bapu, I have given you 2 rupees. You have given me 2 rupees before. Now I give you 3. Keep this 2 in your shrine, and you will be benefited." Mr. Pitale accepted this prasada, prostrated himself again before Baba, prayed for his blessing. A thought arose in his mind that this was his first visit to Shirdi. He could not understand what Baba meant when he said that he had given him 2 rupees previously. He was curious to have this mystery solved, but Baba kept silent. When Mr. Pitale returned home and narrated to his old mother all that had happened in Shirdi, the mystery about Baba's giving him 2 rupees earlier, the mother also did not understand the mystery, but thinking seriously about it, she reminded him of an old incident which solved the mystery. She said to her son, "As you know, as you went to Baba with your son, so had your father done when he took you to Akkalkot Maharaj for the darshan of Maharaj there many years ago. That Maharaj was also a Siddha, perfect yogi, omniscient and gracious. Your father was devout and his worship was accepted. He gave him, your father, 2 rupees to be kept in the shrine and worship. Your father worshipped till he lived, but after his death, the worship was neglected and the rupees were lost. After some years, the memory of the 2 rupees also disappeared, and now, as you are very fortunate, the Akkalkot Maharaj appeared in the form of Sai Baba just to remind you of your duties and worship to ward off the danger. Now beware, henceforth leave all doubts and bad thoughts and follow your ancestors and go on worshipping the family god and the rupees and take pride in the blessings of the saint. Sai Samartha has kindly revived the spirit of bhakti in you. Cultivate it to your benefit." Hearing the remarks of the mother, Mr. Pitale was very much delighted. He came to know and was convinced about the all-pervasiveness of Baba and the significance of his darshan. Thenceforward, he became very careful about his conduct. Mr. Ambadekar, Mr. Gopal Narayan Ambadekar of Pune, was a devotee of Baba. He served for 10 years in the Akbari department in the Thana district and in the Jawahar state, from where he had to retire. He tried to get some other job, but he did not succeed. He was overtaken by other calamities and his condition grew bad to worse. He passed 7 years in this condition, visiting Shirdi every year and placing his grievance before Baba. In 1916, his plight became worse and he decided to commit suicide in Shirdi. So he came there with his wife and stayed for 2 months. One night, while sitting in the bullock cart in front of the Dikshit Wada, he resolved to end his life by throwing himself into the well close by. But Baba wished to do something else. A few paces from this place, there was a hotel, and the proprietor, Mr. Shagun, a devotee of Baba, came out and accosted him thus: "Did you ever read Akkalkot Maharaj's life?" Ambadekar took this book from Shagun and began to read it. Casually, or we may say providentially, he came across a story which was to this effect that during the lifetime of Akkalkot Maharaj, a certain devotee suffered very much from an incurable disease, and when he could no longer endure the agony of the pain, he became desperate and in order to end his miseries, threw himself into the well one night. Immediately the Maharaj came there and took him out of his well with his own hands and advised him, "You must bear the fruit of the good and the bad karmas of your past action. If it is incomplete, the suicide will not help you. You have to take another birth and suffer again. So instead of killing yourself, why not suffer for some more time and finish up the fruits of your past deeds and be done with it once and for all?" Reading this appropriate and timely story, Ambadekar was very much surprised and moved. Had he not got Baba's hint through the story, he would not have been alive. On seeing Baba's all-pervasiveness and benevolence, his faith in Baba was confirmed and he became a staunch devotee. His father was a devotee of Akkalkot Maharaj and Sai Baba wanted him to walk his footsteps of the father and continue his devotion to him. He then got Sai Baba's blessing and his prospects began to improve. He studied astrology and gained proficiency in it and thereby improved his lot. He was able to earn sufficient money and pass his later life in ease and comfort. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.